Hey guys, this is Beast Boy here. This is, of course, the new section of the I don't like it. Cut that part out, Liam in the future.
Good job.
Thank you, Matt. As you guys know, I upgraded to Ryzen. Many people are saying that it is kinda not worth it, and why the heck did you invest in it, and it's just Faildozer all over again. If you don't know what Faildozer is, Bulldozer was a line of CPUs AMD made. Has a similar thing as with Ryzen, except with Ryzen, the cores weren't as fast as Intel, nowhere near it. So they just threw like 8 cores at the time. That was a ton, and thought it's gonna be better, but it actually didn't make any leadway. Anyways, I digress. Let's get into this. So why did I buy a Ryzen? Well, obviously, I love making YouTube videos, so it's helpful for me to be able to edit videos quickly. Besides that fact, I like to be able to game and actually watch Netflix while I'm editing a video. Because with my old CPU, my, where the heck is it? It's in a box, I don't want to have to get it out. Anyways, so with my old i5-750, I could barely watch a Netflix video while it was editing. So the video was pretty much, the entire computer was pretty much offline while I was rendering, so it was sucky. But now, my new CPU sits at a comfortable 80% as it's rendering a video. The video is pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. With my old processor, it was a 1-to-6. If you guys don't know that, what pretty much that means is that for 1 minute of video, it's 6 minutes of rendering. That's the ratio. But for here, my new processor, 1 minute of video that you're editing or rendering or encoding, whatever you want to call it, is 1 minute of real time that it's actually taking to do so. Kind of confusing. I probably screwed it up on the second time. I probably got it right on the first. Anyways, let's get into this. So, of course, I am a gamer at heart. I love gaming. Gaming is fantastic. So that's honestly why I bought Ryzen also, because it's kind of better for its price per value, and especially what I'm doing, it's just generally better. It really is. Besides that, I got the X variant, which I can even say myself, I don't see a big use for it, really. I really don't see a big use for the X variant, at least with the 1700X. But it was the same exact price as the 1700, actually. On that day I bought it, so the 1700X was off $100, because originally it was $400. Right now it's like $350. I don't know if that's the stable price, but if I were with AMD, that's where I would keep it at, because I don't think the processor is an extra $100 better compared to the non-X variant. Anyways, I bought the X variant because, hey, I was already going to buy the non-X variant of the CPU, but the X variant was the same exact price as the non-X variant. Except on that day, the non-X variant was minus $10, so it's just like, why not go for the, in general, better CPU? So I did. So, yeah. Many people say, though, when they just look at it at face value, why did you buy the X variant? You're an idiot. But there's a lot more backstory to it. Now, of course, besides that, when I'm not gaming, or when I'm not rendering and I don't have any really big tasks in the background, in CSGO, I run anywhere from 270 to 300 frames on average. Now, CSGO is a pretty light game, so it's not that hard. And Minecraft, because, you know, Minecraft, it runs around 150 frames with all chunks loaded and everything turned to the max. That's not that demanding of a game either. Mind you, I did have a server running in the background. Anyways, besides that, I bought this CPU because it's kind of future-proofing. And future-proofing is important, at least to a PC person like me. Many people know that Ryzen has been out for about 3 months or so, which is a good amount of time, at least in the PC world. And why did I do that? Well, honestly, I just wanted Ryzen to really mature before I went out and spent a ton of wing-wings on it. I really wanted to make sure that when I was investing $400 of my own money into a processor, I wanted to make sure it was good. So I wanted to definitely know that this processor worked, and I wanted people to buy it and then see reviews, and honestly have a long time for me just to reflect on, to think if I really should spend that much money. Besides that also, since it was a completely new architecture for AMD, and generally a new CPU really for motherboard makers and everybody, I wanted to make sure that all the kinks are out. I probably said this already, but for instance, don't run any RAM above 3 gigahertz or megahertz, 3000 megahertz, 3 gigahertz, yeah, no more than 3 gigahertz, or else it can actually have a downside with Ryzen. I would have never known that. Besides the fact, Ryzen also benefits from 3000 gigahertz or 3 gigahertz RAM. Faster the RAM, better the CPU runs. Kinda just a no-brainer. Besides that, I know there was already motherboards that were out for it. I just want to make sure that they're all good, all the kinks are out for it, and that maybe there were new motherboards coming onto the market besides the ones that were just coming out, because they were pretty high-end and pretty pricey. So I want to make sure that they were out already, and maybe a couple new ones that would come along that would pique my interest, and I wouldn't buy the ones that were already out. Of course. Also, the FPS, the frames that I got in CSGO in that video, I know it wasn't really exactly a full demonstration of how good the CPU was. In this video, I'll actually go into that. That was just kind of like, okay, I have like a solid 30 seconds right here in the video. I don't know what the heck to put in there, so I'm just going to put in some game footage. And that's honestly what I did. Why were the frames so low? Sometimes they were dipping into like the 70s and 60s. Unacceptable. Unacceptable for a PC gamer. I'm joking. Anyways, besides, why were they so low, and especially a game like CSGO where it's not very intensive on a computer? Quite simple. I had OBS running in the background. Now, many of you guys may say, well, OBS, you know, if you tune it, and if you get the settings right, it's really not that bad. And also, you're like, well, you shouldn't have an excuse, because you're going from 300 FPS to about 100, and the only thing you're doing is recording 1080p 60 FPS video. It's quite simple, actually. I used to use OBS Studio, but it wasn't working for me. I was like, screw it, we're gonna go back to the classic version, because I started out YouTube on the classic version of OBS and not the studio version. So I went back to the classic. I was able to set it up really simple, no issues at all. I just didn't optimize it yet for the video, because it was 8 o'clock or so. I was studying for a test the next day, and also besides that fact, I kind of wanted to get the video out on Thursday so I could start a usual schedule. So OBS, simply put, was not optimized to its fullest extent, so I could get good video, and also so that, you know, it wasn't eating away at my CPU. So there's that also. Anyways, let's hop into some of the results. You, of course, will see some of my old results. The really interesting thing is here, my graphics card actually got nearly got a full 2 times better. Anyways, Matthew Devourer, aka MinerMatt530, has been kindly sitting back there on Skype. Matt, talk.
I'm talking.
Yeah, that's Matt. He's kindly sitting here as I'm recording the video in my underpants, because, hey, I only have to be dressed from, you know, the waist up. Not even. I could be dressed from the chest up, and you guys won't know otherwise. Anyways, let's get into some game footage and some actual benchmarks of how my computer handles. had Ryzen in my hands, and I must say, I like how the chip just looks more. It looks, I would have to say modern, but that's just because it has some polished metal, and it's boxy, and it's not round. Like halfway through it, I just took off the front. These are gonna spray paint all the blue out. This is the case so far. And cable management definitely has not been